Hey guys, welcome back to Clash with Corey. Thank you for coming to hang out with me for another Clash of Clans video. Today, I've got 5 essential farming tips to share with you guys. The tips that will help you guys farm as fast as possible. And guys, this is talking about free to play, all right? We're not talking about using books, using gems, none of that stuff. This is just organic farming and upgrading without spending any money or any gems and farming up your base to max as fast as possible. Let's get into it right now.
Nerf this!
If any of you guys are new to my channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell because I'm making new Clash Clans videos for you every single day. All right, let's get into these 5 tips. Number 1 on the list that I like to do is keep one builder available. If you've ever been completely full of loot, with all of your builders busy where you can no longer farm, then you're gonna know my frustration on this, guys, because when I max the base, I want to max the walls too. You know what I mean? They're not as important as they used to be, but trust me, if you're at Town Hall 12 with Lego walls, level 9 or 10, you're gonna get wrecked really easy compared to if you had like at least Town Hall 11 walls. So what I do is keep one builder available. That way I can just keep looting even when most of my builders are busy, and that way I can keep upgrading walls in between, just like I did right there. This is an example of an upgrade base. All right, I never leave this on there. Sometimes I do on accident. Basically, it's just separating out all the defenses, all the walls, all the traps, just so I can find it really easily when I'm trying to upgrade stuff. And once I get, you know, one of these upgraded to max Town Hall 11 level, I'll actually move it over to another area so I can really easily see what I have left to upgrade. But there you go, guys. If you keep one builder available all the time, you're not going to have that issue of being too full of loot to go looting. You can keep on upgrading those walls even while most of your builders are busy. Now, that being said, I'm going to time it. You know what I mean? Look at this. My next builder gets done in, you know, about 21 hours from now. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. That means it's going to free up about 6 a.m. my time. And guys, I'm still in bed at 6 a.m. So before I go to bed tonight, I'm going to actually stockpile up a little bit of gold to get another defense rolling. And before I go to bed tonight, I will use that extra builder just to go ahead and get that next upgrade going, so that by the time I wake up in the morning, I will once again have a builder available. I can keep on looting, keep on upgrading those walls. Guys, tip number 2, first one was keeping that one builder available to max those walls. Tip number 2, all right, pick the right league. All right, if you're looting, you don't want to be up trophy hunting, you don't want to be up doing any of that stuff. You just want to get the maximum amount of loot possible. And for me, as a Town Hall 11, since I've got back into looting right now, guys, the best league to loot in is going to be gold through crystal. All right, drop those trophies down, get in those smaller leagues. I'm going to show you why. You're going to find some big loot on some really easy bases. Check this out, guys. Here, we'll go to this one right here. Check this out. Look how low level this base is, you guys. I mean, yeah, technically it's Town Hall 11, but not defensively. I'm gonna wreck this base and grab all loot from it with Barch, the cheapest army in the game, you guys. Put down some barbarians and archers there just to kind of start in and mostly distract for that wall wrecker. I want that wall wrecker to get in there, basically just breaking up my heroes. I don't even remember what I have inside this wall wrecker, guys, because usually when I'm looting, I just request any. Most of the time, I don't even have a wall wrecker. But here we go. We got an early heal spell down, trying to keep those barbarians up so they can keep tanking for those archers in there through the splash damage, wizard towers, mortars. It takes them a few hits to kill those barbarians, so if you keep a heal spell on them, those barbarians can do a lot of damage and a lot of tanking for the archers and heroes behind. Went ahead and popped toward an ability, caught some of the barbarians in there and the barbarian king, and we're just rolling through this base, guys. We're seriously gonna wreck this base, grab over 1 million gold. We've already gotten most all the elixir. Oh my gosh, we've already gotten over 6,500 dark elixir. Are you kidding me? With a Barch army, you guys. A Barch army, like the cheapest army in the game. This army costs, if you're actually going to use all the spells, like 175,000 elixir. That's it. That's all this army costs. My queen is upgrading, all right? Don't have a queen. You know what I mean? This stuff down in these lower leagues. When you get in these lower leagues like gold, look at the league that this defender's in. He's in gold 1. All right, so that's where you want to be for the big loot, the easy loot. You know, because if you're up in the higher leagues, you're gonna have more difficult bases. That's just all there is to it. And if your queen's down, you're probably not getting all the loot. You're certainly not getting all the loot with a Barch army, or even the majority of it up in the higher leagues. But once you drop down to the right league, gold or crystal, this kind of stuff is just child's play. Not only that, but this Barch army that's super cheap also cooks really, really fast, all right? So get down to the right league. You're not going to regret it. Guys, if you want to know how to do that quickly, easily, you can do it by barching your way down. But if you start up in the higher leagues, that's probably going to be kind of difficult. I'll give you guys an example of how to drop down in leagues. We're just going to find the first base. We're going to drop a hero, and then we're immediately going to, here we go, end the battle. Boom. All right, before he takes any damage. That way I can do it over and over again. So that's a good way to drop those leagues quickly. But guys, that was crazy loot for the cheapest army ever, all right? And that brings us into our third point. If you're looting with a really expensive army, you have to spend a lot more loot to get more loot. So you have to do a lot more looting. So if you're using a cheap army to get this looting done, here we go. Let's look at my presets here. All right, this is the one I was just talking about. If you use all the spells, which I normally don't with Barch, it's 175,800. Let's check this out. What if you don't use any spells? What if you're just grabbing the collectors on the outside? How much is this Barch army then? Oh my gosh, you guys, 75,000 elixir. That's it. All right, that's it for this army, and that's what you're going to use most of the time, because most of the time you're just hunting those collectors. You're just hunting those collectors around the outside. Let's get a good example of that. Guys, when you're using this Barch army, the kinds of bases you're going to be hitting most of the time, I'm going to show you right now. And this is the one where you don't have to use any spells. You're just looking for those full collectors. Now, worth noting, here, check it out. This is what a full collector looks like. Look at that. Full all the way to the brim. Gold overflowing over here. All right, and not only that, but they're also high level collectors. If they're really low level collectors, they don't hold that much. But if they're higher level collectors like this one and this one, and they're full, you're gonna get a ton of loot off this stuff. Here, let's check out these dark elixir drills there. All right, these ones not super high level, but high enough and completely full that you're gonna be getting tons of loot very easily with this Barch army. Now let's go back and check out some full raids. Here we go. Guys, this one used one spell. Used a heal on one area. That's it. So with this one probably cost 85,000 elixir. All right, if you're using a super cheap army, you're gonna build up those resources much faster, especially, you know, elixir or dark elixir. If you're gonna loot with lava loon or something that uses, you know, or bowler witch, or using a ton of dark elixir, well, I hope you're not looking to upgrade your heroes quick, because you know, you're using, you know, several thousand dark elixir every time you loot. You're gonna have to loot a lot more to fill up those storages. All right, so use a cheap army. All right, if I'm trying to actually rise up leagues or just wreck whole bases while looting, like once I get down to gold league, I will switch my army over to miners. All right, now they use a lot more elixir. Yeah, it's true, so I won't gain elixir as fast as I will with a Barch army, but they don't use any dark elixir at all. So since I'm still trying to farm up my heroes, miners are a great option. They might not be that cheap in elixir, but they are, you know, it's free for dark elixir, so you're going to be able to build up that dark much quicker, going to be able to upgrade your heroes much quicker. So know what you're looking for. If you're looking for dark, use elixir armies. If you're looking for gold and elixir, use super cheap armies like Barch in these lower leagues. And guys, it's easy, it's fast. You could be looting every 8 minutes with a Barch army, sometimes less if you don't even go in with a full army. You're not having to cook any more spells usually. You're just hunting for those full collectors like I did on this one. Don't have to touch the core, just trimming those full collectors around the outside. Guys, let's speed it up. Let's see how we did on this one. Did I get all the loot? No, left some dark on the board, left some elixir on the board, but did I get a ton of loot for 85,000, maybe 95,000 elixir? I got 500, 2,500. Super cheap army, and excellent results. And you can do that over and over and over again throughout the day. So use that cheap army, and you're gonna build up resources faster. Now, guys, that's gonna bring us up into You know what? We're going to take a look at looting with a minor army now, because here, I'm going to show you guys. This is the only ones that I'm using right now. When I want to drop leagues, I just do this one, and I'll show you here. The reason I have 2020 is because you don't normally use all your troops with Barch. You're going to use like half of them, maybe 2/3. So this way you can just, boom, press this enough times until you can't press it anymore, and let's see. All right, and we've got a ton of Barch queued up after the minor army that we've already got queued up, all right? So I like to set my presets with my farming armies, and guys, with that, let's you know what, this leads us into our 5th point, actually. 5th tip for farming quickly, all right? Go at the right time. There's a huge difference. For me, I'm on the West Coast time zone, so around bedtime for me, there's loot everywhere, tons of loot, big fat loot. Oh my gosh, between 9 and midnight or even later, if I stay up that late, massive loot, all right? For me on the West Coast time zone, 9 to midnight and later, excellent loot. But when I get up in the morning, loot is horrible. It's horrible, guys. It's terrible. I'll show you guys that actually right now. Let's start searching. Now, I'm in a low league where there's excellent loot. But that being said, at the wrong times of day, it's not going to be all that great, you guys. I mean, that's not horrible, but it's a max 11, or not a max 11. But you know, it's not the easy loot that I'm trying to get right now. I want some soft bases. Oh, look at that. That's pretty heavy. Town Hall 11, guys. Because right now it's like 9 a.m., 9:30 my time, and I've just learned over the years of looting that looting is not good in the morning in my time. So figure out for your time zone when your best time to loot is. When you see just fat bases. All right, that's, you know, take a look at what time that is in your time zone, and that's going to be your optimal time for looting. For me, it's after I put the kids to bed. If I can throw on a TV show and just loot, I'm going to get fat stacks after fat stacks. Whereas right now in the morning, you know, even in the good leagues, even down in Crystal, it's slim picking. So know your times, know what your best time is going to be for looting, and follow that. So with that, guys, we're going to round out this video using this minor army that I like to use, one example. And guys, the reason I like to do this in the lower leagues, because I don't have a queen, you know what I mean? She's upgrading. Later on, my king might be upgrading. You don't need the heroes to wreck these small bases. So I'm going to find a good base, and we're going to close it out with a live minor attack, trying to get some fat loot off an easy base. Here we go. Even though it's morning, I still managed to find a nice fat base that's super easy. Look at this. Oh my gosh. The Inferno's not activated. The Eagle's on the edge. Oh my goodness. This is going to give me over 500,000 of the normal stuff and 5,000 dark. Oh my gosh. I can't even hold all this dark elixir. I love it. So I'm just going to put a baby dragon right on that Eagle. Let that Eagle get taken out right there. And then I'll use the other baby dragon maybe over here. Start this side of the funnel. And since that baby dragon's not going to do too much funneling after that, I'll put the king down over here too. And then I'm just going to 3-finger drop these miners in here. Eagle's already down. Don't have to worry about that. Going to put the warden in behind the miners. Now I'm just going to zoom in. Place some heals when needed. Don't imagine I'm going to have to use all my heals on this army. Pop the king. Oh my gosh, look at those miners. These defenses they're not even max Town Hall 9, you guys. This is crazy stuff. That's how easy some of these bases are down here in these lower leagues. It's insane. I'm going to rage through the core just to make it just a little quicker. Not even really any damage in the core, except for maybe some Teslas. I don't know if I need another spell, you guys. I kind of don't think so. I'll just wait till my warden gets in range, pop him. Come on, get some more of those miners there, buddy. Oh, well, there we go. Got a good majority of them there. And that's it, guys. 2 spells. Minor army. I mean, that easy. You know what I mean? That much loot, that easy. Look at this. My dark is maxed. Gonna go ahead and keep on filling up this stuff. Now, if you don't want to wait till the end of the raid, you can always just exit out of the app, reopen it, and it doesn't stop the attack where you were. It plays the attack out. So if you already know you're gonna win, you don't have to drop any more spells or troops, you can just exit out of Clash of Clans, open it back up again, and it's immediately gonna show, you know, you wrecking that base or getting all that you're gonna get. So you can save a little bit of time that way. But guys, it's that easy. That easy. Only use 2 spells on that one. So that brings the cost of this army probably down to like 240,000 elixir, you know. So yeah, when you go down to lower leagues, you're gonna lose the big loot bonus. But what you get in loot, and for not having heroes up, not using a lot of spells, making it super easy, super fast, you're not gonna have to worry about failing on a loot run. That can be expensive. Guys, it's worth it. Definitely worth it. So there you guys have it. Hope you enjoyed these 5 tips for faster looting. I'm gonna run through them again one more time, all right? Keep one builder available if you care about building up your walls as well. Go to the right league, all right? Drop league, get down to an easier league. It's going to be a lot faster. It's going to be a lot easier, a lot less stress. You're going to avoid those failed looting runs. I don't know about you guys, but I have some failed looting runs once in a while, all right? Number 3, use a cheap army, all right? If you're using dark, if you want dark, use an elixir army. If you're full of dark, you know, your heroes are already upgraded, use a dark elixir army. Go after what you need by not spending it on your army. And if you want to go really cheap for everything, fall back on Barch, loot those full collectors, all right? Number 4, you know, my preferred army that I like to use if I don't mind that I'm going to be rising leagues is going to be miners every time. When I want to drop down leagues, going to be Barch, all right? So those are my favorite armies. Make sure you find your favorite looting armies. Number 5, but one of the more important ones actually is figure out what time is your best time for looting. I know what my best looting times are, and it's just going to take experience. Take note. If you're finding fat base after fat base, chances are you're in a really good time for looting in your area, all right? Sometimes a lot more people are looting and they're eating up those easy bases. There's also going to be times that a lot less people are looting and all those easy bases are going to be left for you. I know my optimal time for looting. Do you know yours? If not, you should figure it out, all right? So with that, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.